In a world filled with loud threats and empty promises, the Sigma male doesn't announce his power. He doesn't need to. His silence speaks louder than rage, and his presence is a calculated strike, not a broadcast. You don't see him coming, and by the time you do, it's already too late. People underestimate him because he doesn't brag. He doesn't seek validation. He doesn't dominate the room with noise. He owns it with presence. But here's the reality. A Sigma male is the most underestimated force in any room, and that's exactly what makes him lethal. Whether he's with you or against you, he plays to win. And the game? It's always mental. The Sigma isn't just different from the Alpha. He's outside the hierarchy entirely. He's not interested in ruling others or being ruled. He values autonomy, self-mastery, and power without dependence. That independence makes him an anomaly, and an anomaly is hard to predict, harder to control, and impossible to ignore. You either have a Sigma male on your side or in your way, and trust me, you'd better pray it's the former. This is why Sigma males make the most dangerous allies and the worst enemies you'll ever face. Upcoming are the 10 savage truths about Sigma. Males allies with no equals, enemies without mercy. 1. As an ally, he's a fortress. As an enemy, he's a ghost with a blade. To have a Sigma on your side is to have a fortress. Calm, impenetrable, intelligent, and unnervingly aware. He is the ally who doesn't just have your back, he's already surveyed the entire battlefield and anticipated the sniper on the roof. He won't just fight beside you, he will outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast any threat that dares approach. The Sigma sees what others miss. While you're still reacting, he's already adapting. He's the silent protector who moves without fanfare, who defends without drawing attention, who prepares for war in times of peace. He reads your unspoken concerns, shields your weaknesses, and fortifies your blind spots all before you even realize they exist. His presence isn't loud, it's strategic. His loyalty isn't performative, it's lethal in precision and absolute in impact. But betray that alliance? What you've lost is not a person, it's an ecosystem of protection, foresight, and quiet power. He doesn't rage. He doesn't retaliate in public. He doesn't need to. He simply withdraws, silently, swiftly, surgically. And the aftermath is brutal in its subtlety. And once he's gone, that version of you is gone too, forever. 2. He thinks 10 moves ahead. Always. In any interaction, the Sigma male is never reacting, he's strategizing. Every word, every silence, every movement is measured. He doesn't stumble into situations, he positions himself precisely. While most people are driven by impulse or emotion, the Sigma is running simulations in his mind. He's thinking about how what you say today will echo 5 weeks from now. He watches body language, timing, context. He tracks inconsistencies, spots pressure points, and maps your patterns quietly. When he's your ally, this means he's already prepared for threats before they arrive. He protects without you asking. He solves problems you never noticed were brewing. But when he's your enemy, you're not fighting a man, you're fighting his foresight, and you've already lost before you even started. 3. He doesn't fight for ego. He fights for principle. The Sigma isn't here to prove he's better. He's here to protect what he believes in. He doesn't posture. He doesn't seek dominance for its own sake. His strength is born from conviction, not competition. If you're on his side, this means he'll protect you, not because of loyalty alone, but because defending you aligns with his values. But if you cross a line, you've broken more than trust. You've shattered a principle. And that means you're not just wrong, you're fundamentally incompatible. He won't retaliate like a wounded animal. He'll respond like a sniper. No wasted energy, no second warning. Just a precise, surgical removal of your presence from his world. 4. He will isolate you without ever raising his voice. The most terrifying thing about the Sigma male isn't his anger, it's his detachment. When you betray or cross him, he won't shout. He won't slander. He won't even explain. He'll vanish. And in that vanishing, he pulls something more potent than revenge: relevance. His withdrawal is permanent and ice cold. Not to teach you a lesson, but because you've proven you weren't worth the investment. And when you try to crawl back, you'll find he's not angry. He's just inaccessible. You'll realize you were erased, not punished. As an ally, his presence is deep and real. As an enemy, his absence is deafening. 5. He doesn't threaten, he executes. While others talk tough, the Sigma male observes. While others warn, he plans. He doesn't tell you what he'll do. He simply does it. He doesn't threaten because it would imply he needs fear to gain control. He doesn't. Control is already in his hands. If you cross him, don't expect fireworks. Expect fallout. And it will be quiet, thorough, and irreversible. You won't see a war, you'll just wake up one day and realize your power, influence, and leverage have been neutralized. By then, it will be too late to scream. 6. He doesn't need the crowd. He is the power source. Alpha males draw energy from others. They need to dominate packs, lead groups, influence crowds. The Sigma male draws power from within. He operates alone not because he has to, but because he chooses to. This makes him unshakable. He doesn't require validation. He doesn't fear isolation. That makes him the most dangerous kind of opponent. He's not fueled by attention. He's fueled by outcome. And when he focuses that energy on building or dismantling, nothing stands in his way. 7. He forgives nothing, forgets nothing, and fakes nothing. A Sigma male has a steel trap for memory, not to hold grudges, but to store lessons. When you cross him, he doesn't scream, cry, or debate. He remembers. And from that moment on, you are treated accordingly. He doesn't give second chances casually. He doesn't tolerate repeated offense. His forgiveness is not a handout, it's a calculation. And most of the time, that calculation concludes with your removal from his world. He never fakes feelings. He won't pretend to like you for convenience. He won't hide his distance. With the Sigma, what you see is what you earned. 8. He can build without you and burn without flinching. One of the Sigma's superpowers is self-sufficiency. He's not afraid to walk away from people, places, or things that no longer serve his purpose. He'll walk away from wealth if it's tainted, from love if it's disloyal, from comfort if it compromises his values. And not because he's reckless, but because he's ruthless about what he allows into his life. This means he can rebuild from nothing. He doesn't fear the reset, he welcomes it. Because to him, creation begins where fear ends. 9. He weaponizes solitude. Most fear being alone. The Sigma male uses solitude as fuel. While others get weaker in isolation, he grows stronger. He learns, upgrades, reflects, and sharpens his edge. Every hour spent alone is an hour of growth. Every moment away from noise is a moment of clarity. You may think you've weakened him by abandoning him, but solitude for a Sigma isn't punishment, it's purification. And when he reemerges, he's no longer who you betrayed. 10. He doesn't just defend, he dismantles. Don't expect retaliation, expect reconstruction. The Sigma doesn't waste his energy on vengeance because he knows there's something far more devastating than revenge irrelevance. He doesn't just protect his peace, he enhances it, sharpens it, elevates it to a point where your betrayal becomes meaningless in comparison to the level he rises to. When you try to attack his name, his work, his mind, he doesn't respond with drama. He doesn't argue in public forums or wage emotional wars. He just recalibrates. He removes your access, your influence, your presence from his life with chilling precision. Quietly, cleanly, permanently. You don't see revenge. You see reinvention. And it's surgical. He upgrades while you stagnate. He thrives in silence while you decay in the noise you created. His evolution is the most punishing consequence of your betrayal because it highlights what you could have been part of what you'll now never reach. It's not that he wants to make you feel small, he just refuses to let your actions shrink him. And in doing so, he grows so far beyond your reach that your absence becomes laughably insignificant. That's not revenge, that's ascension. And it hits harder than any insult ever could. On a final note, in a society built on neediness, validation, and tribal warfare, the Sigma male stands alone. Not because he hates people, but because he refuses to be defined by them. He is his own system, his own weapon, his own savior. He doesn't need to be liked. He doesn't need to be understood. And that's exactly what makes him ungovernable. To have him as an ally is to be protected by a force that doesn't flinch. To make him your enemy is to lose access to someone who would have destroyed your obstacles before you even saw them. He doesn't destroy you. He simply disappears and leaves you to destroy yourself in his absence. He won't come back to finish you. He already did the moment he stopped caring. That's the Sigma. And if you understand that, you'll either stand beside him or never stand in his way again.